Hi, I'm James Chase, Editor-in-Chief of Medical Marketing Media. I'm here today with Scott Weintraub, who's Chief Marketing Officer of Healthcare Regional Marketing. Welcome, Scott.
Thanks, James. Thanks for having me here today at Digital Pharma East.
Thanks for dropping by. Your organization's a little different from most other agencies. How do you define regional marketing and why is it so important in the healthcare space?
Today, everyone agrees one-size-fits-all marketing does not make sense, but they're not sure what to do next. So what regional marketing is understanding the differences from city to city. And it's not necessarily regions like Northeast, Southeast, Midwest, West, because maybe Boston, Dallas, LA are region 1, Miami, Chicago, Kansas City are region 2. But it's understanding the differences of city to city, grouping like cities together into what we call virtual regions, where they have similar drivers, and then leveraging that. And the key is, when I first started doing what we called local marketing, you'd look at the country and you'd say, hey, we have 100 different markets, 100 different plans. Not scalable. Now we're to where we create like markets together, 3, 4, 5 virtual regions, group of districts, and we can do regional marketing.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, more specifically, just to drill down a bit, I mean, what sort of outcomes can you expect from looking at the market through a regional lens?
So the outcome everyone should expect is RX growth, because otherwise why do it? Right. And imagine if we're here in Philadelphia, so you're the brand director nationally, but then tomorrow, now you're the brand director, you only have to worry about Philadelphia. So you say to yourself, hey, in Philadelphia, this should be a pretty easy job. I know Philadelphia, they have more academic medical centers per population than anywhere in the world, more specialists than anywhere else. There's a huge managed care plan that's driving the entire city, pockets of high minority population. So you think about all that and you put together a different marketing plan for Philadelphia. Problem is Philadelphia is only 2% of the country, maybe even less. That ain't gonna work. But now through analytics, you'll learn that, hey, there's 18 other cities that are just like Philadelphia. They have the same drivers. They represent 25% of the population. Hey, I can grow my business in that 25% of the population. Now you do that 3 or 4 times, you're growing the business everywhere. So people should expect RX growth, and it kind of makes sense. When you focus, it's a lot easier.
Well, let's shift the focus to digital for a moment. We're here at the Digital Pharma East conference, all around us. So, I mean, how are advances in technology and the embracing of the whole digital thing in the healthcare marketplace, how is that affecting what you're doing and changing what you're doing on behalf of your clients?
A lot. So, digital is an important aspect of all marketing, all pharma marketing, and all regional marketing. What I do see, though, is at some companies, hey, James, you're now in charge of digital. And there is a little people, chasing shiny objects, right? So imagine if for your city, we'll stick with Philadelphia, there's, University of Pennsylvania. If we can get on formulary there, we're going to win. And there's one guy, James Chase, who makes the decision. That might be a situation where kind of good old-fashioned rep going in and talking to James Chase is the best thing. Yeah, out in Nebraska, maybe there's hundreds of low decile doctors and we need some kind of multi-channel digital solution to reach them. So one nice thing about regional marketing, it tells you where. It'll tell you in Philadelphia, it's less important. In Nebraska, it's a lot more important. So a lot of brands tell us, hey, we want to do digital, and then I ask where, how much money you have, and kind of the regional marketing helps figure out where you're going to get the biggest bang for the buck.
I have a big picture question for you. The pharma industry continues to be pounded by an untold number of forces and events, such as the patent cliff, healthcare reform, the empowered patient, the economic woes. I mean, how do you see this whole system panning out? What's the healthcare space and the pharma space in particular going to look like in the next few years?
So the winners and losers is great. To me, this is deja vu. So like I was saying earlier,
you're older than you look.
I used to work in consumer packaged goods. So I worked on Safeguard soap, Ivory soap, Secret Antiperspirant, CoverGirl cosmetics. Before I joined that industry in the 70s and 80s, it was a fantastic industry to be in. Somebody would come out with a toothpaste that stopped cavities. Somebody came out with shampoo that stopped dandruff. Somebody came out with laundry detergent that made your clothes whiter. As a marketer, all I had to do is tell people about these benefits, and bam, the stuff would sell. Fast forward 10 years later in consumer packaged goods, every toothpaste stops cavity, every shampoo can stop dandruff, every clothes can't get any cleaner, right? So it's like, okay, now you truly have to market. So the people who won in consumer packaged goods are people who really dug into the data, understood their consumers better, came up with better insights. I think pharma is the same. So before I started in pharma, someone would come out with a drug that lowered cholesterol more, lowered blood pressure more, solved ED. All you have to say is, we do it better, sales go through the roof. I worked on a drug, I'm embarrassed to say the brand name, but a year and a half before loss of exclusivity, we stopped marketing the drug, stopped selling the drug, and sales went up. So how much did we as marketers really affect that when sales went up when we stopped? So now the people who are going to win are the ones who really dig in, understand the insights, and from our expertise, regional marketing, the patient in Miami might be different than the patient in Lincoln, Nebraska, might be different than the patient in Boston. So it really is better understanding the consumer, the patient, but pharma is more complex than packaged goods. You got to understand the payer environment, the provider environment, group practices, population, all that stuff. So
and then there's med legal, of course.
Med legal. When I used to work at companies, we used to call them the sales prevention department. But my experience is that's not really true. It's just someone's paid to manage risk, and they definitely have a key role.
Okay, Scott, thanks very much for your insights today. So the message I'm hearing is if there's variation in your brand performance, you need regional marketing.
That's dead on, James. And when we started the company 7 years ago, we would analyze a brand and we'd see pretty much like 400% or 500% variation. You go from a 5 share to a 20. Now we're seeing 6, 7, 800% variation. And the reason is the U.S. is becoming more fragmented. Managed care is becoming more important, and it's different everywhere in the country. Population's changing everywhere, so it's becoming more important. So variation's growing, and the nice thing for a company like us is our niche is becoming more and more important. So, but you nailed it.
Well, good luck to you, and thanks for dropping by. Scott Weintraub, Chief Marketing Officer of Healthcare Regional Marketing. Thank you.
Thanks, James.